Hi, welcome to the Some Kind of Mystic podcast. I'm Jessie Herman, the host of the show, channel for Vagrian, author, coach, and all-around curious human being who is interested in bridging the spiritual with the difficult journey of being human and here incarnate on this planet. You may notice that the format of this episode is a little different than the episodes I've done in the past with guests. That's because I'm excited to be expanding this podcast to make it a space where I can share more of my own thoughts, emotions, experience, insights. And moving forward, you're still going to be hearing from our wonderful guests that agree to come on the show, but you're going to be getting some solo episodes from me as well, talking about topics of spirituality, manifestation, channeling in general. Basically anything that's coming to mind that I'm feeling the pull to share with you guys in this now moment. But here's the thing. I don't want this to be a one-way conversation. I want your input, your feedback. I want to read comments. I want you guys to reach out to me so that this can be a space where real conversations about these topics are being had on a regular basis, and we can connect more deeply around all of these fascinating aspects of our physical, non-physical reality together. So if you do enjoy this new format, leave a comment and get in touch with me and let me know what you think about it. And hey, if you want to do me a favor, head over to your favorite podcast platform, look for the Some Kind of Mystic podcast and leave me a review there. One of my manifestation desires is going to be having this podcast rank as one of the top spirituality and personal growth podcasts that are out there. And more so, I'm so excited to get millions of people excited about these topics and learning more and more how to step into their authentic selves day by day. You are part of making that happen. So today's episode is about something that's absolutely foundational to any of your desires coming true in life, what it means to really be the creator of your own reality. This concept gets thrown around a lot, but we're going to break it down for you and talk about it in a genuine, authentic, no secrets manner so that we can dive into figuring out how it can actually be applied to your day-to-day life. I'm hoping that at the end of this episode, you'll have really practical tools, really great grounding in these techniques and in this practice, so that you can apply it to your day-to-day life and see some significant changes towards your desires in a mind-blowing and miraculous way. Okay, so let's get into it. What does it mean to create your reality really? This is one of those concepts that gets thrown around, and especially in spiritual circles, but I want to really break it down in a way that's practical and honest. Now, if you've been around for a little while and you've experimented with manifestation, you've for sure come across some of the usual suspects, such as Rhonda Byron's book, The Secret, or Abraham Hicks's channeled teachings. And these tools are amazing and they lay the groundwork for exactly what's going on here. The message is usually really simple. Focus on what you want, stay positive, visualize, and it'll come to you. And look, I'm not here to knock that. That is absolutely how it does work. But there are a couple of hiccups and potholes you can avoid in your journey when it comes to manifestation that really honor the human aspect of things and honor what all of this is actually for. Why does the law of attraction even exist? What is its purpose? So if you've ever felt like you've tried traditional manifestation practices and they didn't work for you, don't worry, you are not alone. That is a very common situation that comes up. It's come up for me in the past, and it's come up for a lot of my clients. So we are going to unpack that right here. Because what really determines your reality is not just the thoughts that you think or the feelings that you're having, but the energy that you hold. It's not just about saying affirmations or making vision boards, although those are great. It's about the deep subconscious patterns and emotional states that actually dictate what you're attracting and magnetizing to you. And that's where a lot of people really get into trouble. My cat's just bothering me here. Here's what usually happens for most people is you get into the law of attraction, you're super excited about it, you pick it up and you have something you really, really want. Maybe it's a relationship, a dream job, more money, a pregnancy, whatever it is. You focus all of your energy on it. You visualize it, you script it out, you say your affirmations every morning and every night, you even write it out 90 times, you take 2 glasses of water and you spill them together. There's lots of techniques and tools that you can use for manifestation. Maybe we'll go into a couple of them. And then nothing. Or worse, you get the thing and it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be. And it doesn't feel how you thought it was going to feel. Or it's in a way that you completely didn't expect it to arrive. And then you have all kinds of questions and doubts, and you're kind of floating around in this half manifest situation. So you think, wait. This stuff doesn't actually work. I've been doing everything right and it's not working. So what's going on here? And then you lose faith in the universe a little bit. But here's the thing. Creation isn't about you getting exactly what you ask for, exactly when you ask for it. It's about finding your inner alignment with self. It's about aligning with your higher self to such a degree that you know your desires are your higher self's desires, and your higher self's desires become your desires, and you're all like in this dance of being all aligned. And then everything feels good anyway. So it's really exciting to dive into what exactly is the law of attraction for. And sometimes what we think we want is only a small piece of a bigger puzzle that we can't yet see. So now I'm going to share with you a personal story, a very personal story of mine. And it has to do with the way I came to understand what the law of attraction is all about, or the law of intention, or the law of expectation, or the law of anticipation. So about 9 years ago, I had this deep, undeniable desire to have a second child, to have another baby. It was really all I wanted. I was so gung-ho to have another child and to give my daughter a sibling and to expand the family. And I focused all of my attention on it. I also, at the time, was really into law of attraction teachings and was really good at them. I was really good at affirmations, and I was really good at vision boarding, and I was really good at all of the tips and tricks that perhaps we'll get into later in this episode. And my vibration was high. It was so high. It was so high flying. I saw myself already pushing the stroller. I saw myself nursing the baby. I saw everything that being pregnant would feel like. I allowed myself to daydream really completely, and my vibration was super, super high. I knew I was doing a good job because I knew I had to focus on my vibration. So that's really what I was doing. I'm going to do a good job, focus on my vibration, and I was doing a good job. I was doing a great job, and I was pregnant again. So celebration. I was so happy. I was justified. And I felt like I had arrived. Oh, I figured out the universe. I figured out how this all works. I figured out how to manifest my reality. Did the work. I put in the time. I raised my vibration. Even when I was sad, I didn't let that affect me, and I kept my vibration high. And now I'm pregnant, and this is wonderful. This is amazing. This is my happily ever after. Except at my 8-week ultrasound, I found out that the baby didn't have a heartbeat anymore and had died. And as devastating as that is, and it was, I was completely devastated. And as full of sorrow as that was, there was another unexpected emotion of shame, failure, of guilt. You know, here I was studying manifestation, studying the law of attraction, and a tragedy occurred. This horrific thing, the worst thing I could have imagined at the time, was real. And I miscarried the baby, and I had to, on top of all the pain of losing a child, and if you've ever lost a child in that way, you know, it's unusual type of pain because it's also very solitary. You don't really have the support of the community or of lots of people because maybe most didn't even know that you were pregnant. And miscarriage also still has this strange aspect of, well, you can always try again, or it wasn't a real person, so that's not a real loss, or whatever that is. So, you know, there was all that going on. And then there was this sense of, it's my fault. It's my fault. I had a negative thought at some point. I worried at some point. I wasn't on the high-flying disc when I went to that meeting I had to go to, and that's why it happened. And I had to sit with those emotions and sit with that confusion. And that guilt turned eventually into anger, into how dare the universe do this to me? How dare it do this to me when I tried so hard? I did my very best to stay high vibration. I gave everything. And maybe this law of attraction stuff doesn't work. Maybe it's lies to fill seminars, and maybe it's lies to sell books. Maybe it's a trick to be more cruel, to make people believe in something, to then just take it away. And that was a very hard period, feeling those things and thinking those things, because they were so out of alignment with the truth that I now know. And it was a very dark period for me. And I felt like the ground had just been ripped out from under my feet. Like all of that information that I'd believed and all of those practices that I'd done were useless. That life was hopeless, that you were going to be thrown around by existence arbitrarily. That whole bad things happen to good people. Because I was good. I had been good. I'd done everything right. And the worst thing still happened. Now, I think this is one of the major problems with the law of attraction, the way it's taught at least, is that if you have any element of worthiness, there's a good chance that believing that if you could just be high vibrational enough, then you'll be honored by existence, that there's some sort of reward. And while it is the case, the universe isn't really judging you. It's not actually working that way. It's not actually measuring how worthy you are of the things that you want by how much you can ignore your negative emotions. But it does come across that way in some of the teachings. And there I was, someone who does teach about manifestation, or at least was having clients at the time and sharing about manifestation, and who did believe in the power of creation and that I'd done everything right and I'd been so aligned, and I was a failure. I failed at the thing that I wanted. So how could I possibly be teaching this to anyone else? And so I slowed down and I grieved my loss and was devastated and didn't hold my vibration high. And I doubted everything. I thought, really, maybe this whole manifestation thing is not real. Maybe it's just a way for desperate people to find a way to feel slightly more in control or slightly better about their lives. But here's the thing about time, it does give you perspective. Because what I didn't know in the moment when I lost the baby was that that child had a severe genetic disorder that would have made its life absolutely miserable and impossible. I also didn't know that while I was grieving and in that process of letting go and relaxing my perspective around how much control I have in existence, that only 6 months later, I would find myself pregnant again with my son, who is now my best friend and my little soulmate and my greatest joy, or one of my greatest joys. And that's when I started to understand something much deeper about reality. The law of attraction isn't just working to get you one of your desires. It's orchestrating your entire life to get all of them in a way that's for your highest good. You know, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might get what you need. It really is working in that way. And coming to a personal and very visceral understanding of that has been absolutely life-changing. It's amplified a millionfold my understanding of law of attraction, and it has made me or placed me in a position of actually being a conscious creator. You see, I didn't just want to have another child or want to be pregnant. I wanted to have a healthy child. I wanted to have a child that would come into this world and that I was in a position to support them, to be with them in a way, a different way than I had been before having the experience of having lost a child. So this is really what I want to share with you today. Even when things are going wrong, and even when you hit that wall, even if your losses feel far greater than your wins, and even when the worst thing you can imagine happens, the universe is not saying no to you. It's simply saying yes to the whole picture. It's saying, I see the whole picture, and I'm arranging things in a way that you don't just get what you want, but you get everything that you need. Because if that first pregnancy had continued, my son, the one that I cherish now, the one that I can't imagine life without, he just wouldn't be here. I'd have a completely different reality. And it doesn't mean that the pain wasn't real. It doesn't mean that I didn't have to go through the fire of that deep sorrow and deep mourning and claw my way back to feeling okay again. But it does mean I can look back now and say, oh, now I get it. So what does it mean to be the creator of your own reality? It means knowing that everything is working out. Even when things aren't going your way, they're going your way. Just the way you don't understand yet. It means trusting. It means knowing, not just when things are easy, but especially when they're hard. It means knowing that you're always creating, and sometimes the things that you feel are the biggest heartbreaks are actually the exact shifts you need to bring you what you've been asking for all along. So if you're in that space right now, if you feel like nothing is working, if you're doubting everything, hold on. Your bigger picture is still unfolding. It's not over till the fat lady sings. I'm not sure what that means, but that I've heard before. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. And it really isn't. Who's the fat lady? Maybe it's the universe. I guess the universe is the fat lady. So you can afford to keep going. And here I'm going to insert that hang in there cat meme thing. That meme before memes existed. So since the fat lady's not here right now, let's dive into what does it mean to create your own reality. Let's go. Life doesn't happen to you. It happens through you or for you. Either one is fine. I want you to sit with that for a second because for most of our lives, we're taught exactly the opposite. We're taught that things occur that we're going to respond to or that are going to cause reactions in us, and there's really nothing we can do about them. We're taught that circumstances or luck or fate determine the outcomes of our day-to-day experience. And we're at the mercy of external forces, and there's no control, and there's just chaos, and then you die. Okay, that's not how it works. Your life is yours. Your entire reality is yours, and it is responding to you. It's mirroring back your energy. Now, that statement can even be triggering because then we say, well, if there's horrific things on the outside, then that must mean there's horrific things inside of me, so I'm meant to feel bad about that. That's not what we're saying. We're simply saying that the offerings that are given to you through your life are constantly offerings that, if accepted, or if risen to, Vagreen likes to say rising to the occasion, if risen to, head in the direction of you getting more and more of what your preference is or what you're wanting. And if skirted, and if avoided, and if seen as or from a victim lens, will head you simply back to a longer route to getting what you're wanting, because the universe is always offering you things that you can grow through, things that you can expand through, and things that, if you do decide to grow through and expand through, will head towards having a pleasant state of being. So whatever it is you are seeing, that is your energy, your beliefs, your focus, and your ability to realize being reflected back to you or more accurately projected outside so that you can see it, so you can decide what to do with it. And how does this work? We can break it down into the different elements of how this projection/mirroring system works for you into thoughts, emotions, actions, belief systems, and intentions. So first off, we have our thoughts. Thoughts are influencing your perception all the time. So your thoughts are the lens through which you see the world. They don't just describe reality, they filter it. Okay, so whatever you're thinking, it's not right. Your thoughts are not accurate. It doesn't matter how smart you are. I'm sorry, honey. Your thoughts are wrong. They're a filter. They're a lens. They're yours. They might be valid to you, but they're actually not reality. They're a interpretation of reality. And the way that you interpret reality is what reality presents to you. If you think, today is going to be awful, then yeah, it's going to be awful. But if you think, hey, today is going to be an amazing day, well, you're going to start out with that energy and you're going to be a participatory factor in creating that reality for yourself. Your brain is wired to find proof of whatever it is it's being filled with. So if we say, let's say something absurd, the dolphin and the peacock got married on a Saturday. Guaranteed you're going to be seeing dolphins and peacocks all over the place, or weddings, or something about Saturday, because you're going to be looking for it from now on. You notice the slow driver in front of you, and now all of a sudden everybody's a slow driver. You see the rude email, you spill the coffee on your lap, because your thoughts are sharing that, it's going to be a horrible day. And so you are creating that in your reality. On the flip side, if you step into the day and you're going to be like, hey, something amazing is going to happen, it's going to be so awesome, your brain starts scanning the world for evidence of that. I mean, I've got my cat sitting outside here just staring at me. Like, that is awesome. You're so awesome. And you're going to start seeing how people are generous or kind, how you got all the green lights on the way to work, whatever it is, you're going to manifest that in your reality. Now, it's possible that both of these people had exactly the same day. But the one who set out the day thinking it was going to be horrible, when they spilled the coffee on their lap, it was proof of their horrible day. Whereas for the one who thought, I'm going to have an awesome day, when they spilled the coffee on their lap, their colleague that they thought didn't like them rushed right over with a towel and helped them out, and they both had a little bit of a giggle about it. That's an awesome day for that person. Sure, the pants are ruined, but the colleague is a lot nicer than they used to be. So that's literally how the mind works. You're going to look for evidence of what you've already decided you want to see. So learning to curate your thoughts is one of the fastest ways to start getting on that I get to see in my reality the things I want to see roller coaster. Emotions. Emotions are acting as energetic magnets. So thoughts are extremely powerful, and emotions, or I'd say even at this point, vibrational frequency, is the fuel behind creation. Now, back to the coffee example. Whether you spill the coffee on your lap and you think, I'm such an idiot, this is a horrible day, there's an emotion behind that. And that might be the emotion of righteousness, anger. Or if you think, oh, this is hilarious, I'm so clumsy, I couldn't get a new coffee cup, or whatever it is, you might think if it was a positive day type of framing, you might have the emotion of joyfulness. Now, in normal manifestation practices, teachings, they say your thoughts create your emotions. I'm not entirely sure that that's not a two-way street. In my experience, my emotions create my thoughts, and my thoughts create my emotions. I actually have a predisposition towards my emotions creating my thoughts more so than my thoughts creating my emotions. So when I go ahead and try to control my thoughts, or even reach for better feeling thoughts, for me, that's not necessarily as effective as going straight into the modification of emotional state. How does one modify their emotional state? So the way you do that is by being nice to yourself. I know that's terrible news for most of you. Oh, don't we hate being nice to ourselves? We do, don't we? We absolutely hate it. So being nice to yourself. So when I'm in a lousy mood, and it happens a lot, believe it or not, even though there's this beautiful smile here, I am often very grumpy. It's just my weather. It's, some people live in the tropics, some people live in the desert. I live in a weather system that is quite emotional. And yet I've learned that there are things that are similar to umbrellas, right? If I'm going to get wet all the time, every time I'm in a lousy mood, and if I don't want to manifest lousy experiences and lousy thoughts, I take out my emotional umbrella. And what does that mean? It means I'm nice to myself. If I'm not feeling good, I'm nice to myself. I give myself the things I need to feel good. I wear the thing that feels good. I do the thing that feels good. I take some space for myself, do all of these things, and that is my emotional umbrella. That is how I don't get wet every time it emotionally rains. And then on the good days, I can go out and frolic in the sun all I want. And that's how I found my balance of not controlling my emotions, because you can't. Your emotions are your guidance system. They are telling you something. They're giving you some information. All right. Mine gives me a lot of information about how I want to change the world, how I want to improve myself, how I want to show up. But you can live with your emotions. You can accept your emotions. You can thrive in your emotions and learn very deep things from them. So the universe responds to the combination of your emotional state and the thoughts that you're having. And that is why, even if you said affirmations all day long, if you are not managing to put the correct emotion behind those affirmations, nothing is going to manifest for you. Or the wrong things will manifest for you. Because deep down, you don't feel like what you're saying is possible. So if you're saying, I want a Learjet, do people still want Learjets? They might. I don't even know why I'm like, that might be a really old reference. A football team. Right. So if you don't think it's possible, and every time you say, I'm a billionaire, your heart goes, no, you're not. You're a loser. Well, you're not going to really have access to more levels of abundance. So there's a little bit more intricacy in there about getting your subconscious on board, about getting more and more in tune with yourself. And that is the direction you're going to have to go in. The next aspect of manifestation, you guys are not going to like this, is action. ACTION. Action, action. We want action. So does the universe. The universe does not want to float your boat for you. Okay? Your boat is naturally floating. But the universe is not interested in an unbalanced relationship with you. The universe is not codependent. It is not your mommy. It's not your daddy. It's not going to clean up your messes. It's not going to wipe your ass. What it is going to do, though, is interact and play with the players who are willing to step up into their manifestation. So if you do want $1 billion, do not sit around waiting for a lottery win. Not that it's not possible, but do not sit around waiting for your uncle to die. Do not sit around waiting for someone to knock on the door with a suitcase full of cash. Okay? There are ways to get $1 billion. Now, you might find along the way to getting $1 billion, you don't actually want $1 billion. That's another story. But there are ways to create the person that you need to be to become a billionaire. There are ways to create and cultivate the life that you would need to have or step into, one step at a time, to getting everything that you're wanting. So let's start a little smaller. You want to change jobs? You hate your job? You're doing affirmations, I wish I loved my job, or I wish I could find a new job, but you're not putting your CV out there, or at least polishing it. You're not going and getting new skills. Why? The universe has got a lot of things to take care of. And you know what? It's probably taking care of while you're not getting your new job. It's taking care of your lack of motivation. Because you're going to stay in that job until it gets so exhausting to you that you go, you know what? I really need to become someone who has more motivation. Aligned action is necessary for manifestation. Often it feels really good too, because you know that you're taking ownership over your life, that you're taking direction over your life, right? You know that you are heading towards something. Life feels awful when you have no purpose. And as Bagrian says, we create our own purpose. So you're going to have to live with purpose. If your desire or your goal or your dream seems too big, break it down into chunks and do one of them. Do one of them. Do one thing today heading towards your desire. And what you're saying to the universe is, I'm in. I'm with you. I will do this and you can do this. And then slowly but surely, you will find that you have been directed all along towards many things along that way, along that path, that weren't even the end goal. They were something else you also wanted. Maybe you wanted self-esteem. Maybe you wanted to recreate your image. Maybe you wanted to find contentment with where you are. That's a big one. So there's lots and lots that is available to you through aligned action, even if the universe is not participating. Now, this is a good one too, because even if you do none of the other things, aligned action is going to create results in your life. This is how the majority of people live. They do things. Now, I would not suggest it. I don't like doing anything. I'm not a doer. I'm a beer. Luckily, my being happens to have a lot of doing in it. But the majority of people who don't adhere to the law of attraction naturally take advantage of the law of attraction simply by doing stuff, because they're doing stuff that for them feels aligned in that moment. So it anchors your energy into your manifestation. Really, the doing or the being doing is the bridge. I don't know what bridge is this. It's the bridge between the physical and the non-physical. The non-physical is supporting you. It is sending the inspirations. It is sending the love to you all the time. But it's you, my dear, who needs to and is the only one who can manifest your reality. So go ahead and start doing those aligned things that you have in mind. Think about it. You don't attract the perfect job by sitting on your couch. You need to prepare for it. You need to apply for it. You need to be networking. You need to be meeting people. You need to be telling people that you want a certain type of job or that you want to create a business or whatever it might be. The universe will meet you halfway. So allow yourself to live in this 50-50 balanced relationship with the universe. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit stickier, a little bit trickier. It is your belief systems. And this is where our friend Bagrian is an expert at uncovering, at digging up, at helping you to break through. The biggest aspect or element that prevents your manifestations from coming true are your hidden belief systems. The first one I'd say is that it's not possible. So if you're holding on to any sort of that's not possible for any of the things you want, you can say, ciao, ciao, I'll see you later when I've let go of this belief. The reason for that is because you are literally saying to the universe, no, I don't believe in you. I don't have any faith. I don't have faith that this is possible. And I don't have any self-esteem. I don't feel that I can make this happen. I don't feel that this is in the cards for me. I discount my desire. So I'm not meeting you at all halfway. It's not possible. Why should I try? Your beliefs are the foundation of everything, because your beliefs are the thoughts that you've thought regularly or the thoughts that you thought when you were a kid that are running the non-conscious elements of your manifestation. You only get what you believe is possible for you. So the hack for any sort of manifestation really is believing it's possible. Like really deeply going, okay, I'm all in. I'm 100% going to believe this. I'm not afraid. And this is a thing. I think I've covered this in another video. I'm afraid of disappointment. That's not really going to serve you. I'm afraid of what people will think. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. The world doesn't work that way. have seen what's been going on in the world recently. Speaking of the world not working this way, it's a little wackadoodle, right? Like it's a little cray-cray and wackadoodle. And it is so bizarre how some of the things that were like written in stone 20 years ago about the way the world works, they're gone. They're gone and they're evolving. And the craziest thing about manifestation is it doesn't only work on a personal level. You could wake up tomorrow and be accidentally or weirdly or spontaneously the citizen of a completely different country that you've never even visited because of some political move, because of some decision someone somewhere made that you don't even understand. So this whole like, oh, my beliefs are set in stone doesn't really work anymore because the world isn't set in stone anymore. So this is something also you got to catch up with. You know, if you're my age or older, then we're used to manifestation happening this fast, and we're not used to it happening so broadly and so spontaneously and so inexplicably. But I'd say, what is it, 6 years? The past 6 years have shown us that all of our ideas about anything we believe to be true are very, very flexible. So you can let go of that's the way the world works. The world, first of all, doesn't work, but doesn't work in any specific way. So allow yourself to really dream very big and allow yourself to believe things are possible. What you believe is possible for you is possible for you. So that would be where the first hack would be. If you believe money is not easy to come by, it doesn't matter how much people offer you money. It doesn't matter how many attempts the universe tries to throw money at you or how many affirmations you say. Your subconscious is running the show. If you believe that the good people are all taken and you're looking for a relationship or there's no one around, I was actually found myself like doing something along these lines. There isn't enough of this or that. When it's crazy because ultimately I only need enough for me. I don't need the whole world to be filled with the thing I want. Because I want it, I can attract it. Like, even if there's only one beautiful, rare thing in the world, if I believe that I can have it, that beautiful one rare thing will be magnetized to me. So if you believe life is going against you, it's going against you. So this is like an extreme version of the thoughts, right? But some of these are subconscious and you'd have to unpack them. Again, Vagrian's an expert at this. A lot of coaches are experts at this. Get the help that you need because you can't see in your blind spots, okay? And reach out to me if you want to work together coaching and eliminate these limiting beliefs forever. We can do that. That would be cool. But all I'm saying is that your beliefs are really your handicap. So be very careful about what you're believing. Ooh, be so careful. And be careful about what new beliefs you're taking on as well, because that's also going to serve you. So you will always match your core beliefs. And if you want to change your life, if you want to change your situation, if you want to change your circumstance, that is a great place to start. So now here's also where it gets really interesting. We always have choice, free will, even when you feel like you don't. Even when things are feeling like someone else has the control, someone else has the power, you are always the captain of the ship. And your choice to align with yourself or to not is always available to you. I know there's moments when it feels like life is throwing you around and things are just happening and you have no control, whether that be because of some political thing or that be because of some circumstantial thing or that be some sort of health thing. But your response, your perspective, you get to choose these things. You get to choose your alignment. You get to choose how you're going to be, how you're going to, like Vagrian says, rise to the occasion. And that dictates what happens next. That each micro choice dictates the next now moment. And you're being offered always. Do you want to stay stuck in an old cycle where you continue to get thrown around by the world, thrown around by existence, or do you want to shift into something new? And having the awareness of this and having the mentality, I can choose, even if you have like a programming, for example, even if you have a habit, even if you have something, a pattern that you're always bending into, if you can get your a belief. If you can create the belief that you can choose, you get all of your power back. Oh my, it is so wonderful. So you're never stuck, ever, never stuck. Even when it feels like you are, you're still creating. You're still creating from a place of an unconscious pattern maybe, but you're still choosing. You're still choosing that stuckness, right? There's nothing external to you, but the shift can happen when you're creating on purpose. And so now in my book, Vagrian Seeking Ends When Sharing Begins, which I'm holding up for the camera here, but those of you on audio can't see, which you can get on Amazon, there's a chapter called Intention Creates Reality. So this is Vagrian's perspective and notes on that particular thing. So here are some quotes from Vagrian on intention creating reality. Intention is your main source of power. If you can consciously choose your intentions, you can create reality in front of your own eyes. Of course, with this knowledge, we will caution you to choose wisely. All intention setting has its effect. Most of the effects is on you, the one who sets the intention. As you begin to shift your intentions from all others to the one truth, the intention to love, you'll find that most of your problems and challenges dissipate and vanish. Intending will produce what you are intending, but primarily in its energetic form. Whatever you intend is what is coming to pass. If you intend to harm, then you are creating harm whether or not you perceive a physical manifestation of that harm. The harm does not even need to land on the object of your intending to have been created and chosen. Even if you are sending harm because of your blindness to your own intentions, perhaps because you are unaware of your distortions in the direction, the harm is still being created in this time-space reality. It is the reason that we suggest that if you were to focus and be aware only of one thing in this experience, it would be the root of your intending. Harness your ability to see what your attention is with every word and action, and then discern if all of those intentions are in alignment with the love that you are. Any action or thought that does not match the high frequency of love will be highlighted by your emotional dissonance with it, and then you will have the opportunity to realign and choose love instead. For love is you tapping into yourself, your true nature, and will. Well, that was pretty direct. If you were to focus and be aware of only one thing in this experience, it would be the root of your intending. So what is your intention? And that can be a billion things. Vagrian says that it could also simply be love. And by focusing on that, we're going to get what we love, really. So that is an important element as well of the package of what creates reality. So back to the big question, how does one consciously create your reality? Here are those practical tools I promised at the beginning of this episode. Get clear on your vision. What do you actually want? Who do you actually want to be? And are you aligning your action and your intention with those aspects of self? Shift directly into the energy of already being that person, of already having that reality manifest for you. How will you feel? How will you feel about yourself? What will be different in your life? What things will fall away? What things will come in to fill their spaces? Speak, act, and align your frequency with the version of you that already has it. You can also try some techniques such as quantum jumping. You can try some techniques as the 2-glass method. And if you're interested in hearing more about those and me doing an episode about those methods, then do leave a comment about them and I absolutely will get on that for you. And that will be your aligned action for the day. Then you must trust and take that inspired action. Trust, 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 trust. If there's one belief that you can take away from this, it's that the universe has your back, is your biggest fan, is your personal assistant, is absolutely on board with everything that you are. So pay attention to whether or not you have faith in that aspect and work towards having faith in that aspect. The universe is constantly bringing you angel numbers, synchronicities, nudges, clues that's telling you it's listening. Your job is to follow those nudges. The 50-50 rule, the balanced relationship rule, you are in an intimate relationship with the universe So act like it. And remember, it's not all about positive thinking or affirmations or good vibes only. Those ultimately will lead you to learning what I'm trying to teach you without having to go through the heartache of learning it. You are always in some way in alignment with yourself. And if you're not happy with the reality that's manifesting for you, you have the power to choose it. You have the capability to choose it. The universe is absolutely on your side. So do anything that feels good if you're not feeling good. Remember that emotional umbrella that I was talking about. And if you are in a high vibe, follow the inspirations from the universe. Be fearless, be courageous in your life. Allow your desires to lead you. Don't worry about being disappointed. You can survive disappointment. You can, and you will. And this is part of the beauty and the magic and the love and the gloriousness of being a human being. So totally allow yourself to have faith. And read Vagrian Seeking Ends When Sharing Begins, because I don't know of a book that is more full of wisdom. You can get that on Amazon. I'd love for you to pick up a copy and come see me in person. You know, I am the channel for the non-physical entity group Vagrian, and Vagrian has some live events coming up, so I'm super excited. I'm going to be in Boulder, Colorado on March 22nd. I want you guys all to come to that and to participate in that with me. And if you use the coupon code SKOM10, then you get a 10% discount off your ticket if you get it right now. And I believe we still have some of the early bird tickets or potentially something like that. So go ahead and check that out at www.jpherman.com/events. The other event we have coming up very shortly is in Orlando, Florida on April the 14th. Potentially, we are going to be having a day earlier with that event as well, in terms of we'll be doing 2 days instead of one, and that would be April 13th. So check out what the event page says right now for that, because I'm excited to see you guys in Florida. I'm looking forward to getting some sun and some orange juice. I believe those are the things that Florida is known for potentially. So I'm excited about that. And the most gorgeous offering I have coming up is my retreat in Acqui Terme in Italy from May 15th. Now, this is a 4-day intensive Vagrian retreat. We are going to be together the whole time and interacting on a regular basis with channeling, with meditations, with movement practices, and with any gifts that you guys want to bring along with you. It is going to feel so good. And I know this because the previous participants have told me that it's life-shifting, that it felt so good to them, that they are going to return, etc., etc. So the tickets for that are not yet on sale, but I will be putting also on that events page the pre-sign up type of thing so you can get more information, or do send me an email at one-O-N-E@jpherman.com so that I know you're interested and I can save your spot right away, because they are going to fill up very quickly once they are on the site for purchase. So those are my live events that are coming up in the first half of the year. I have my membership site, which you can also join, which is going to have its doors opening again on April 1st. So I can't wait to see you in that container as well. And I'm so thrilled about this new format of the podcast. I've had a lot of fun recording this, and I hope that I can get it edited quickly and get it out to you, because I have so many topics in mind to share with you, to talk about, to share my wisdom with, to share my personal stories about. And I'm feeling so awesome about the potential of doing that. Also, if you are a person, okay, that is interested in sharing your story, do get in touch with us, because we are always looking for fascinating guests for the Some Kind of Mystic episodes, and can't wait to share your story if we feel it aligns with the rest of the world. And yeah, do that together. That'd be awesome. So take care. I love you lots, and I will see you again soon.